sugar, welcome back to my channel. So in today's video I'm going to be showing you how to make 3 delicious Christmas party treats. If you like this video, leave a comment down below and make sure to subscribe to my channel. Let's get into it. You will need 4 eggs, 225 grams of butter, 225 grams of sugar, 225 grams of all-purpose flour and a teaspoon of vanilla. The first thing we're going to do is add our sugar and butter into a mixing bowl, and we're just going to combine this using an electric whisk. Mix this together really well until the butter and sugar mixture is light and creamy. Next, it's time to add in the eggs, and you just want to add them in one at a time, mixing after you add each one. This prevents the mixture from splitting and therefore creating a better cake. Repeat this process with all of the eggs until they are really well combined. Once all the eggs are added, just scrape down the sides of your bowl to make sure all of the mixture is incorporated. Then just add in the vanilla extract and give it a final whisk. The next thing we're going to do is take our all-purpose flour and add half of that into our batter. Then we're just going to fold this in using a spatula. It's important not to mix this in with a whisk, as this will make the cake batter really heavy and you would like nice light cakes. Then once it's all mixed, add the other half of the flour and just mix it with the spatula again. Now that our mixture is all combined, what we're going to do is add it into a baking tray, which I've just lined with some parchment paper. Then you're going to want to spread it out evenly so all of the batter cooks at the same time. Depending on how deep your baking tray is, cooking times may vary, but I just cooked my cake until it was golden brown at 180 degrees Celsius for 20 minutes. Once your cake is cooled, just take a circular cookie cutter and cut holes in your cake like so. This is going to make the base for our little Santa hats, and just repeat this as many times as you can on the cake. Now, I had a friend over and he helped me a bit with some of the cutting, so in this video if you see a change of hands, it's just him giving me a little bit of help. Next, take off all of the excess cake from around your circles just to make sure you have nice clean circular edges. Now what I'm going to do is take one of our little cakes and cut it in half using a serrated bread knife, just to make a nice clean cut down the center of the cake, and this will give us 2 halves which we're going to fill with cream and jam. Then just repeat this for all of your circular cakes. Next, we're going to be making the buttercream frosting that I'll be using in this recipe and the following recipe that I'll be showing you. To do that, I'm just going to add 2.5 cups of sifted powdered sugar and mix that with 225 grams of softened unsalted butter. When you're mixing this together, just keep beating it until it's really light and fluffy using an electric whisk. Then later we're going to add a teaspoon of vanilla once the butter and sugar is combined. If you find that this buttercream frosting is a bit too sweet, considering there's also sugar in the cakes and sugar in the jam we'll be using, then instead you can just use some fresh whipped cream. Now it's time to assemble our little Santa hats, and to do that I'm just going to take one of the sandwich cakes that we cut in half, and I just put the buttercream frosting in a piping bag with a round nozzle. So we're going to take that frosting and pipe a little circle on the cake. It doesn't have to be perfect because you won't see it, and then I'm just spreading that out with a metal spatula to make sure it's evenly covering the whole side of the cake. Next, you just take some strawberry jam and a butter knife and spread that on the other side of the cake, just a little bit as you don't want it to come out the sides. Then put both sides of your cake together and just dust it with a little bit of icing sugar. Next thing you're going to do is just take a strawberry and cut off the end with the green part, and then pipe a little dot of your buttercream frosting just so it acts as a glue, and stick this to the top of your cake like so. Then around the edge of the strawberry just pipe a continuous circle in the buttercream frosting to look like, you know, the white fluffy part on the Santa hat. Then what you'll also do is just pipe a little bit on the top, and then your cakes are done. I think they look adorable and they taste delicious. You will need 1 cup of sugar, 3/4 of a cup of all-purpose flour, 2 eggs, 145 grams of melted butter, and 90 grams of cocoa powder. Crack both of your eggs into the mixing bowl and be careful not to get any shells in. Then you're going to combine this with your melted butter and make sure that your butter isn't hot because this will cook the eggs. And then add in your sugar and whisk everything all together using an electric whisk, or you can do it by hand. Once everything's well combined, add in half of your all-purpose flour and half of your cocoa powder, and then mix that together really well and then repeat. Mix your batter until everything is well incorporated. Don't mix it for too long, otherwise this will make the batter heavy and not as light. Then add your brownie batter into a baking tray. This is the same tray that I used earlier. Just spread out the batter and cook this for about 20 minutes at 180 degrees. Then what I'm going to do now is cut my brownies into Christmas tree shapes, and to start off with I'm just cutting a horizontal line down my brownies. Then I'll just take a triangle template that I cut out using parchment paper and just cut the first triangle so that it's nice and even, and then after that I'm just going to follow the lines that I did for that first triangle without having to use the parchment paper. Now I'm going to take the remainder of our buttercream that we made earlier, and I'm going to mix this with some green food dye to make the green color for our Christmas trees. It's time for my favorite part, which is decorating. So I just took one of the brownie triangles and I put the green buttercream frosting into a piping bag, and I just did a squiggly line following the shape of the triangle from the top going all the way down to the base. Then I got some M&Ms and just used the red ones to decorate the tree because I thought it looked cute like Christmas lights. Now take a candy cane and break off the curved bit because we only want the straight part, and put that in the base of the brownie to look like the trunk of your Christmas tree. You can decorate these trees however you like. I chose to stick to a red and green theme, so I took some red sugar sprinkles and decorated one of the trees like that, and on one of the other trees I took some green and red crystals and just sprinkled them on. I love how these turned out. I think they're really adorable and would look great at a Christmas party. We just need 2 cups of mixed berries, a jug, a measuring cup, half a cup of ginger ale, 2 cups of cranberry juice, half a cup of Sprite or Perrier, and 1 cup of pomegranate juice. First thing we're going to do is add in our mixed berries to our jug, and then add in the 2 cups of cranberry juice. Next, add 1 cup of pomegranate juice and just mix that in. Then you can either use Sprite or Perrier water. If you like it more sweet, then use Sprite, but if you want to cut back on the sugar, just use Perrier. For this recipe today, I used some Sprite, and just add half a cup of that into the mix, and then another half a cup of ginger ale. Give that a good mix, and then take it to the fridge and leave it to chill for about an hour. Now it's time to make the cute little bottles that we're going to put our drink in. So I just took a clear glass kind of old-fashioned milk bottle, and then put this cute little pine cone that I found. I got this off a Christmas cracker, but you can probably buy similar ones at a craft store. And then I just tied it to the bottle using the wire that it was attached to. Once that is nice and secure, then just take some red spotted ribbon, and I cut this to be the length of the neck of the bottle, and then just secure this in place using a glue gun, or if you don't have a glue gun on hand, you can also use some double-sided sticky tape. Take care when using a glue gun as they are really hot and I wouldn't want you to burn yourself. Then I just took this adorable stripy red paper straw and put that in the bottle before adding the juice. And then they are done. That is it for today's video. Thank you so much for watching and I hope you enjoyed.